Okay, we're going to get started. It's 9:01, and what we're doing is we're talking about transitioning from summer to fall. There's a lot of things that go on this time of year, and it is, it's difficult to it's almost like driving a car and throwing it from drive to reverse. It's something that's not easy for the organizationally gifted. So it's no wonder that we find ourselves, a bit perplexed during this time. And then, of course, right on the heels of this comes the holidays. So that's why I thought this would be a great idea to really, kick some butt here. This is kind of like what happens in September. In September, we really just begin a whole different lifestyle than we did in the summer. In the summer, we were, kind of laid back, relaxed. There weren't many appointments. Nobody really has classes to take. There's no sporting events, really. So, it is something that we come to oh my God, like already? Kind of like that. So here is just an example of what we are like between the summer and the fall. We're almost naked, walking around with hardly any clothes on, to suddenly being so covered up that we can't even see anything but our faces. And so there's a lot of things that have to get done at home to transition from that lifestyle to this lifestyle, and it happens in a bang. So what we're going to do is exactly what I promised. We're going to do the transition from summer to fall, playtime to school, relaxation to routines, and we're going to do it without stress, and we're going to do it with each other, okay? And I'm going to show you things that you can do right now that'll bring real change and order to the hectic, busy life that, comes on in September. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up for next summer, and we're going to get the house ready for the oncoming season. So I want you to go through the house from the front door to the back door. And if you have 2 floors, then go on the second floor and do the same thing. And also, if you have a basement, do it down there, because you're going to find things that are like little remnants of summer. If you have started putting away things, there's still going to be more that you're going to find. If you haven't started putting away things, because, the weather really has been summer-like a lot of the times here in the Northeast anyway. So, I'm in New Jersey. So I want you to really begin to look at the house like you're a real estate agent. Go from the front door to the back door and start gathering all the things that are summer items. I want you to get some boxes that are produce boxes. And the reason for that is because they're sturdy. One goes in the other, and they have handles and they stack really well. So I want you to go through the house, get all the summer things together, and put them in the boxes. A great thing to do as well is to get a loose leaf binder with like a 1-inch loose leaf binder. Put in there a page divider and some loose leaf paper, and write on that page divider storage. And then behind that, write everything that you put in those boxes. Because what we're doing now is we're getting ourselves ready so that we're next summer, it's going to be successful, and you're not going to be pulling a whole bunch of stuff out to search for what it is you need for the summer, like beach towels and all those other things. So write down everything that you put in those boxes on a piece of paper when you're doing it. It won't take you much longer than it would originally, and it'll save you so much time next year. And then you put it wherever your storage area is, wherever you're going to keep them, and put a note on the paper where it is. So you'd say, and you'd mark the box, say S1, S2 for summer 1, summer 2. And then you would write on the paper where it was that you stored them. Okay. So, you might say, the whole closet, or in the attic on the right side by the chimney. Okay. So that's what you're doing right now with all your summer things. We're going to make sure that we take care of that. All right. This week. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to get ourselves ready. Like, because we have a great little like window of time in September, I mean, to do a lot of work, no, October, duh. All right. So between October 1st and October and November 1st, we have a beautiful window of time where we can work on things and be really prepared for what's to come. So these are things that must be done. Dishes, laundry, and say no. We're going to incorporate these things right now so that everything that you're doing from here forward will be successful. Now, dishes, you want to make sure that you have them in the drain and before bed, okay? Or if you have dishwasher in the dishwasher and the dishwasher is running, and so that when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you're going to do, or one of the first things, is put those dishes away. All right, so that's one thing. Another thing is laundry. You're going to keep the laundry going. You don't have to catch up on the laundry. If you have piles and, a whole bunch of laundry to do, you're not catching up. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm saying that you're going to keep up with the laundry. So you're going to put a load in the washer and before bed sometime, not before you're going to crash, because then it won't happen, but sometime later after dinner. Okay. You're going to put a load in the washer, and then the first thing that you do when you wake up after you go to the bathroom is you're going to make it a habit to get those clothes in the dryer. And then by the time it is that you're ready to leave the house, those clothes will be done. So I want you to take them out and fold them. Now, I know that you're going to think, oh my God, I'm never going to have time to do that. If you count how long it takes to fold clothes, it's about 2 minutes. And that is really under 2 minutes, because when you're counting, it's less time than when you're, looking at a clock, because, you don't say 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. When you count, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. You see what I mean? So it takes less time than you think. If for whatever reason you cannot fold them, then you need to take them out of the dryer and lay them flat. Because if you come home to wrinkled clothes in the dryer, they're not going to end up getting folded. You're going to say, oh my God, they're all too wrinkled to fold. And then they'll end up in piles. These are some of the traps that we have, that we set for ourselves. We work much harder than the organizationally gifted work, because they do it right the first time. We're always, a dollar short and a day late. We always, we put clothes in the dryer and then we forget about them. And then later we say, oh no, look at those clothes. And we take them out and now they're wrinkled. So now they're in a hamper, in a basket or something, because, we don't want to fold them all wrinkled. All right, let me just iron them. And we're never going to iron them. And then they end up just on a chair, and then you dig through to find your clothes. We work much harder than the organizationally gifted do. So that's one of the things that we're doing here. We're setting ourselves up to do things differently. Now, we're never going to be what they are, nor do we want to be what they are, but we can learn from them. And that's one of the things. And, in Tidy Tutor University, there's so much of this. But what we're going through from right now is kind of like a little crash course on getting this, this season in place, so that you're not stuck like a deer in headlights when Thanksgiving comes. So another thing you're going to do is you're going to say no. And now this is a habit that we have. If you're part of my people, then you definitely, got my tips. And one of the tips is say no. But this is something you're going to do right now a little bit more concentrated than you would normally, because you want to, it's almost like you're taking a course. It's almost like you've made a commitment to something. And your commitment is that you want to start out this holiday season and all that comes along with it, to guarantee kind of like peace at home. And so if somebody asks you to do something, you're really going to think first. Even if you have some free time, you're going to say, well, wait a minute. Am I on target with my goals for this month? Remember, things only happen if you work them. Nothing works unless you work it. So it may be that you're going to just say no a little bit more during this time, okay? Because you want to be concentrated. You want this to work. This is what, you signed up for. Another thing you're going to have is a family meeting. If you live with anybody, or, you have a family, if you have a significant other, you're going to have a little meeting. And the reason I have the picture of the brownie there is because if you tell them that you're going to serve dessert, they're going to show up. So, do that and just let them know, like maybe you've done something like this before where you've said, we're going to get this house cleaned up. We're not going to live like this anymore. And you made this, grand plan, but because you haven't had the direction, it was difficult and it fell through and you didn't have support and all of that. So this time it's not going to fall through. So they may not believe you, but they do want to live in order. So they, in the back of their mind, want it to happen. Even though people don't generally like change, they do want the house to be picked up and to feel good. They want to have their friends over and they want to just, they want life to change at home as far as, it being a mess is concerned. So you will have their support. It just may not look like it at your first meeting, depending on how many times you've tried to, get the house cleaned up before. Okay. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to have a family meeting. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to identify the snags in our day. All right. What are you always looking for? Like, I want you to think to yourself, what takes me out? What are the things that make me say, nobody should live like this? Or there's something wrong with me. What are those things? I want you to identify them and then create a environment that cuts that stuff off at the pass. Now, one of the things are keys. We're always looking for our keys, maybe our purse. We're always looking for our purse. Make places for things that are always searching for. I call it controlled stash and dash, kind of. This is like, if you can't beat them, don't. Don't think that you have to be like, Martha Stewart or, who else? Donna Reed. We want to, have that kind of feeling, but we're not those people. So if you like, say, papers, okay? If you know that, you like to work in the kitchen and but you have an office or you have a desk, but you're always in the kitchen with papers, well, stop trying to be who you're not and make a space in your kitchen for papers. Get a nice decorative basket, get it in your kitchen. And so when you're working on papers and you're done, you don't have to file them. You don't have to make them neat and nice. You just have to get rid of what is garbage because you've worked on something. So you have some garbage papers there you don't need anymore. Get rid of them. And then put the rest of them in that basket. Close the basket. You're done. Something that we do in TTU is we have designated days for things so that the whole month doesn't go by like a blur and we haven't taken care of things. And one of those things is a desk day. So if you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but I'll get a little basket for papers, but I have papers all over my house. That's just going to be another place for a bunch of papers. But that's not true. And the reason for that is because you're going to establish a desk day. And I think you should have more than one. I believe you should have 2 desk days. And that doesn't mean you spend the entire day with papers in your desk. It just means there is a day that you've designated to take care of this so that so say every Tuesday and Friday, it's a day that you are going to set aside time to take care of papers. And so before you accept any invitations, before you make any plans, that has to be done. And it really only takes about 15 minutes to take care of. And so that area that you're working on right now that you're establishing, it's not going to get any bigger. We're talking about the papers that are coming in, things that maybe your kids have handed you, maybe things that you got in the mail that you have to address. Maybe you're taking a course and you have some notes that you've taken and you have to bring them into school or something like that, So anything that you have going on now with papers, that's where it's going. In a little basket or in a accordion folder. And this way, when something comes up and you're like, oh no, I needed that paper for the physical examination that you need for cheering. Where is it? And then you don't have to search all over the house for it because it's in that basket. You may have to go through a few papers to get to it, but you know where it is. And then, of course, on your desk day, you would take care of certain things that have to go places or be paid or be addressed. But in the meantime, everything is, is contained. Now, I have a video on papers, so if you do have papers all over the place, then it is, what is it? It's the tidytutor.com papers. And let me here, I'll write it in there. The tidytutor.com/papers-2. There. You probably have to, oh, there, it did the HTTP. Awesome. All right, so if you have a lot of papers all over the place, this is a way to get them out of sight. You feel like you have some control. They're in order. You'll see how it works. And you work on them on a regular basis. They get chiseled down. So all of those are being taken care of, and now that we discussed this, all of the incoming are being taken care of. This is what we're talking about with identifying the snags in your day. Get some hooks. If you're always looking for your jacket, you're always looking for your shoes, you're always looking for your earphones, your earbud things, your sunglasses. If you're taking any classes and you have books that you're reading, or books that you have to do for study, have a specific spot for these things. Go through the house and make these places so that this is the beginning of making things work, and also helping you to be successful and continue on. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now, this is the perfect time to do this because of what is coming up. We have from October 1st to November 1st, where we really can concentrate on things, and because November 1st begins kind of like a whirlwind of, oh my God, there's one thing after the other that you have to do. And it makes it eventually what ends up happening, and we all know this. We end up stashing things everywhere because we can't keep up. We want our living area to be nice. We want we want to be able to have company during this time, and we want a certain air of this season. We want to feel that. So we force it to happen, and if we can do this now, then we'll avoid that force. You know what I mean? We'll avoid that push to do it, even though it causes us so much stress that after a while we just think of the holidays as more of a pain in the neck than the joy that they should be. Now, one of the things that we have is too much stuff. So another thing that we're doing right now is we're going to be dejunking. All right, we're going to go through the house and we're going to this is imperative to getting organized and to living like those people when, like when you go by somebody's house for dinner or something, and while you're there, you're like, oh man, you're so inspired to go home and get your house to feel that way. And then you go home and you kind of get overwhelmed, and you almost, you maybe start, but you can't do it. And one of the reasons that their home feels like that is because they don't have too much stuff. Now, I know that a lot of things are difficult because there's emotions hanging on to a lot of these things. But I want you to get a different mindset about stuff, okay? It's only things. And if, God forbid, there was a fire and you and your family, your loved ones, whatever, got out of that fire and everybody was alive and everything was cool, but you lost all your stuff, you wouldn't care. You're all together. You're all in one piece. Thank God for that. The stuff doesn't matter. If you hold on to things, Susie Orman said that if you hold on to things, your hands are clenched. And so you can't have your hands open to receive. And that's why so many times things don't come to us, because our hands are closed. Another thing is about people's things that have passed away, right? We have people that have passed away in our lives that we love, and there were things that they owned, and somehow we feel like we have to hold on to them. If it doesn't fit, if you don't love it, if you don't need it, if it's broken, it has to go, okay? And if you think, oh, I can't do that, that was my grandmother's. Do you think that you love your grandmother more than one of those people that we spoke about when you go by their houses, they're lovely? No, they love their grandmother as much as you do. They had mothers, they had fathers, they had grandmothers. Of course, they may have some things that belong to them, but if those things made their life difficult because they lived in clutter or in a way that was not pleasing for them, they didn't keep it. They cared more about themselves because they knew those people loved them. So it's not about the things, it's about the memory. If there's things that you are attached to, take a picture of them if it doesn't fit. Make a photo album with it. We can do that in Tidy Tutor. I used to be a scrapbook consultant, and so we can do that. We can get our memories together in scrapbooks and not have to live with them in a way that makes us unhappy. All right. So there's specific ways that we can de-junk. And I have this in Tidy Tutor University, but I'll give you a little crash course right here, okay? You want to go in, first I want you to go through the house in one room at a time, all right? We have 4 weeks to do this. So you can really get a lot of things done in 4 weeks. You have to set the time aside. 1 hour is awesome. If you can do 1 hour a day, holy mackerel. Now, don't tell me, oh my God, I don't have an hour a day. I don't believe that, because Facebook would not be successful if people didn't have an hour to spend on it. TV shows would not get Emmy Awards. There would not be, everybody talking about certain shows if nobody had time to watch them. We have the time. We're just choosing to do other things with it. So I'm saying choose to do this with it now, because it's an investment in your life. And it's also something that will give you way more time down the road, because you're not going to be always, going back and backtracking all the time because, you lost something, you can't find something, you left something somewhere, you have to go and buy something else because you can't find it. All of these things take so much time out of our lives. So if you're thinking, well, I don't have time to do this, I'm telling you, you don't have time not to do this, okay? So go in a specific room and first start outside in the room. Just look at everything that you can see. If there's things that don't belong in that room, put them in the room that they belong in. But first, what I want you to do, instead of taking anything out of that room, is you make a pile, all right? Make a pile for things that don't belong there. Because when your hour's over or your 30 minutes are over or however long you determined, but make sure you determine a time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, all right? And before you leave that room with those things, you have them in a pile, because if you leave the room in the middle of the time that you're spending, you're going to end up getting sidetracked. And that's why we do a lot of nothing. That's what I call I'm doing a lot of nothing, because we only do a little bit in each split place and nothing actually gets finished. So make a pile of things that belong in another room. Go through the room and say, do I need this? Do I want it? Do I love it? And is it storage? If it's storage, then you got the Apple box for the storage for the summer things. Get a few more, and so that when you come across storage things while you're doing this month, you're going to put everything in there. It doesn't matter if it's a bikini and a scarf. All right. Well, the scarf you're going to want out now if you're in the cold part of the world, because it's that time. So if it's let's say it's a bikini and I don't know what else is there that's kind of like out of this season and we won't need it now, but it contradicts. All right, say it's Christmas. All right, say you have a Christmas item and a bikini item. It goes in there. All right, because later we'll take care of storage. You're going to take everything that doesn't belong in that room that is storage and put it wherever your storage goes. You're going to take everything that you don't love and you're going to disperse it accordingly, either in recycling, donation, or garbage. And you're going to take everything that, when the time is up, you're going to take everything that didn't belong in that room and then just put them in the rooms that they belong. You don't have to put them away in that room. You just have to put them in that room. All right? So that's another thing we're doing. And the other thing that we're doing is this month is our bedrooms. And the reason for that is because when November comes, we're not going to be thinking about our bedrooms at all. We're going to really only want to have our living space together. And so we get this beautiful opportunity right now to take care of our bedrooms. And because it'll end up being the place that we stash everything and we put everything. And you know that we want to wake up in a lovely room. If you celebrate Christmas, then Christmas Eve, you want to put your children to sleep in a lovely room, and you want to go to bed in a feeling good. You want to wake up in the morning feeling good. We work so very hard for these holidays to be, you know, what we want them to be, or to hope that them to be. All of the money that we spend on gifts and everything that goes along with this, you really deserve to enjoy it and to not feel like, that you're a mule, just working and not enjoying life. And part of that is going to bed in a room that makes you feel proud, and waking up in the room that makes you feel happy, and laying your children down, or even if they're older kids and you say, okay, good night, that, see you tomorrow, that that they're walking into a room that you're proud of. So this is what we're doing. All right. Another thing is our room. So we're going to get rid of all of the seasonal things in there, right? And we're going to dejunk it, just like we were talking about doing other areas. So this is something that we're working on diligently. All right. So here's to recap our plan of action. We're going to gather our summer stuff in our storage, right? We're going to employ the three new habits: dishes, laundry, and say no. We're going to have a family meeting. We're going to recognize the snags in our day, and we're going to plan accordingly so that those snags don't exist anymore. So that means, let me just say this. If you have your keys in your hand, you have got to begin to have that habit of hanging them on the hook. You can't say, well, I'll just put them on my dresser. Oh no, I came up to my bedroom with them. They're on my dresser. No, go downstairs and put them on that hook, because later, well, you're not going to remember you had them on your dresser. And so what are you going to do? Did I put them in my purse? Oh no, they're not in my purse. Are they, no, they're not on the hook. All right. Are they on the, oh, I know. I came in with groceries. I put them down with the groceries. Oh no, they're not there. So even though it might seem like, oh, well, that's all right. My keys could be in my dresser. All of the time you're going to waste searching for your keys. Okay. So remember that everything that you're doing now, you're doing deliberately. All right. So there's that. You're going to be decluttering the house, right, with the plan that we had, and we're going to have bedroom detail. Okay, we're going to take care of our bedrooms this month. So that's our plan to get this October to November off to a great start. All right. Now, I had an idea. So if you're really serious about this and you want some intense support, instruction, accountability, and like help from me, I had an idea that I would do this like coaching time, a coaching time on top of Tidy Tutor University. So I want you to not miss out on this, because it is a real opportunity to get the change that you've always wanted. Because, let's face it, if what you've been doing has been working up until now, you wouldn't be searching for, how do I get out of this mess? And if we want anything to happen, we usually have to get help for it. And since being organized is a learned skill, you really can't get it without the instruction. It would be like saying, I'm gonna learn how to play the piano, but I'm not gonna have anyone teach me, and I'm not gonna look at any books. I'm just gonna sit at the piano and see what happens. Unless you are gifted musically because it was born in you, it's not gonna happen. So you may be saying, well, you know what? I've tried many, many times and it hasn't worked before. So why should it work now? Well, what if you said, I've sat at the piano many, many times and I've never been able to play it. So why will it work now? Well, because when you get an instructor on the piano, you're going to play it, aren't you? Yes, you are. So this is the same thing. We thought that we could just be organized. No, you can't. It's a learned skill. So I'm telling you that there's time for this, and you have a lot to lose not to embrace this. Okay. If you think you don't have a lot of time, I've already discussed that. You don't have time not to invest in this. Now, I want to let you know what you'll learn in my training. Okay. You'll learn step-by-step system and comprehensive guide to master what has always mastered you: organization. We do this with no confusion and with no overwhelm. You'll also learn how to translate what you know already, because you're amazing just like you are. You just don't realize it because you've been trying so hard to do it the other people's way that you think there's something wrong with you because you can't get it. And I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with you. You just think differently, and you're taught by people. All of the people that teach, like Stephen Covey, 7 Habits for Highly Successful People, Martha Stewart, they are organizationally gifted. They were born that way. And those are the people that have been doing all the instructing. And what happens is they tell us things that are like to them very elementary, but to us it's like complicated. Like like one of the things that they say is, go in a room, prioritize, see what, size up what has to be done, prioritize it, make a list, prioritize it, and then do first things first. Well, they don't understand that in our world, everything is a priority. We don't what do you mean first things first? What do I do? I don't even know where to begin. Make a list. Are you kidding me? Make a list and I'll lose it. So when you realize, when you realize how wonderful you really are, and all of the gifts that you do have that they absolutely don't have, that you can employ so that you will be successful, you'll realize that like it's kind of like a gift. It's like you've been given a present to be allowed to be exactly who you are. So that's one of the other things in my training that happens. You'll learn how to avoid the common pitfalls that we all have made every time we've tried to get it together. Now, I can easily teach you how to master homemaking so that you also can transform your home and have more time for yourself and spend less time cleaning. Remember how I mentioned what we say is, what I say is like, doing a lot of nothing? That will stop. People used to call me and say, Kath, what are you doing? Cleaning. What are you doing? Cleaning. What are you doing? Cleaning. They're like, Kath, you're always cleaning, but nothing's ever getting clean. So if I know that you understand what that means, there's wheel spinning that happens that stops happening when you learn what I could teach you. Now here's some results from my training that I have. People's marriages have been saved and romance has been rekindled. They've saved thousands of dollars on storage charges. Rooms that have been shut up for years are being used. Change is seen within days, and extreme noticeable change is seen in weeks. Children's behaviors change drastically at home almost overnight. Now, here's a couple of testimonies. I'm only going to read a couple of them, okay? I started doing what you said 2 days for 2 days now, and oh my God, I just love my life now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dia. I absolutely love TTU, Tidy Tutor University. It is such a great course. Thank you, Kathy. It is probably the best investment in my life I've ever made, Olga. Each day it is getting easier to live my life on purpose. Getting organized is proving to be a key to my success. Thank you for all the motivation, Rosemary. So these are things that like are real. This is no baloney, okay? And I have so many more of them. So wait, I want to let you know that there's more. Don't you love her, Amelia Satome? This was from my cousin Vinny, but wait, there's more. All right. Because this is fabulous timing, because it is the month that it is. And then that we're going to be going on to the holidays. And then, of course, that dreaded January 1st where we all decide I'm going to get organized. That's going to be my goal for the year. It's great timing to get started right now. We will have a weekly online meeting. See, I'm doing something above and beyond Tidy Tutor University. I'm doing like a game plan, okay, like an action plan that we're having. Tidy Tutor University is fabulous all by itself. And if you took the course without this game plan, you would still have fabulous results. I'm not charging a dime more for the course with all of this added help. Down the road, this probably will be something that I offer as like a coaching package. But right now, because it's the first time I'm doing it, and just because I got all excited about what I thought about to do, it's not going to cost one dime more than the course originally is. And we are going to get together with calls. You're going to get me on a regular basis. We will be in Tidy Tutor Insiders, which is here. Let me show you it. Here it is. We'll be in Tidy Tutor Insiders. Well, you'll have the course. The course is Tidy Tutor University. It's step by step. You have your notes. You don't have to take any notes. You have added material. It's very easy to take. It's very makes you feel so good about yourself. It's nothing is under pressure. But the other thing that we're going to do is we will have a forum. We will have a forum where we will get together and you will check in. You'll go into this forum every day and you'll check in, and you will be like having a personal trainer. It's like, more than just joining the gym. You join the gym and then you take some classes and then you hire a personal trainer and it keeps you on track. That's exactly what this is. So it's a great added bonus to that. I've never done this before in Tidy Tutor University. And I'm really excited about it. It's a great time for anybody that ever wanted to take this class to take it now. Now, also, you will have all of the access to my insiders group for 4 weeks. You'll have from October 1st to November November 1st. You'll have all of the access to this, and if you want to continue it, it's a monthly fee for this. I have a coupon code right now so that if you do join in now, you'll be able to get it for $10 a month. The Insiders Club. It's not something that's necessary. It's just something that you might want to do for yourself. Okay, so there's that. All right, now let me go back to this. All right, so here's what you get. You get specific instruction in video format, step-by-step direction in each session. This is Tidy Tutor University. We have a 4-week commitment to each other. Each session is about an hour to an hour and a half long, and each one builds on the next. And like I said, it's easily taken. You want to take this time aside for yourself, just like you were taking a night course. It helps you to get your place to get your place in your home where it will be easily maintained. I have to say that all again. This will get you to a place in your home where it will be easily maintained and it'll give you what you've always wanted. And then also we're going to have that additional support that I talked about from our Insiders Club. We're going to have personal instruction, personal attention, accountability, a game plan, and a private forum. On top of that, you also will get the inside of Tidy Tutor Facebook group, which is such a fabulous, the women are just so great, and you get to go in there and report. It's no nonsense. Nobody's in there complaining or making excuses, and we root each other on. Okay, another thing you get is my book. You get my book, Finally Organized. This is what someone wrote me. She said, wow, where were you all my life? I just finished the book. This material from Tidy Tutor, she has taken my course. She got my book with my course. And Tidy Tutor and the book has really been amazing for me. In my youth, I remember spilling out the door for school with tons of things in my backpack, but always missing something important. I always felt like I was working so hard but not getting anywhere. So no one really understood me. The science project horrors, and yes, in adulthood, many lost payments, broken friendships. I can't keep up. I have a guitar, sewing machine, and other dreams buried. Your system is giving me so much hope. Yes, and her name is Crystal, and she is doing fabulous. And it really does. This is so much more than getting our house cleaned up. It really helps us in every area of our life. So it's your choice. You can stick to what you're doing, or you can embrace this different slant to thinking about yourself and being organized. Enroll in Tidy Tutor University and finally have what you have always wanted, an organized life. So let's do this, okay? If you go to thetidytutor.com/TTU, you'll be able to get in. And then on the 1st, we're beginning, all of us together, everybody that joined in for this semester will be there with you, including me. And anyone that was in Tidy Tutor University and would like to participate, they also have that opportunity to do that. And all they would have to do is enroll in Tidy Tutor Insiders. Many of them are in there already. What I'm doing now is probably going to be about a $400 item, and it may even go up from there. But right now, from what I have gathered, I would charge $397 for my course and all of this extra help that I'm giving, the personal training. So you'll get it for $197 as the cost of enrollment in the course. So I really hope that you'll take advantage of this. It is an opportunity that you won't get again. And it is also just, something that you really, really should do for yourself. I think that we all need to do good things for ourselves. If ask for it for a gift for Christmas, say, give me an early Christmas present if that's what you have to do. But just see how it is that you could work this out, because we spend money on so many things, and most of those things are here today and gone tomorrow, and this is something that will serve you honestly for the rest of your life. So I'm going to close out now. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So I'll just wait a couple of seconds to see if anybody has a question. I don't know if you know it, but on the right side of the screen, there's a place that you can, raise your hand to let me know that, you have a question, or you can type in something. You can ask me to unmute you, and you can ask me with words. All right. So it looks like nobody has anything that they have to say. So I'm going to close out now. I hope you will take advantage of this. Go to the tidytutor.com/TTU. It stands for Tidy Tutor University, TTU, and enroll and get in here and find yourself with these amazing women and an absolute life change. Thank you so much for showing up. And, I wish you all success in the world.